So I want to touch on something. I see people talking about like let's say we're talking about like the red pill community and people who are conscious of female nature and female sexual nature. I believe more in sexual polarity than I believe in a lot of these red pill concepts. There's truth to them, but some of the shit is overdrawn and overblown. It's like if you're really so afraid of women, just like go be monk mode or just go deal with prostitutes for the rest of your life or some shit like that. Cause ain't nobody got time to be sitting there being afraid of women. You a grown ass fucking man. If you a grown man, why are you being scared of women? That shit's weird. It's weird as fuck. So I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. They always say, she's not yours, it's just your turn. Shit changes in life. For the time being, she might be yours. And after that time is up, she's no longer yours. But during that time, she's yours. And what is yours? That means she's on your program doing the shit that you tell her to do. She fucking with you. Fucking with you. And you can't be like overly concerned and worrying about what she do when you're not around. Right? Now, it depends on the type of relationship. Like you prematurely integrated, then what you consider her being yours might be different than what a man may consider being his if he's in a situation where he's using a biology first approach. You get what I'm saying? Or if you're just have that type of security, right? But I'm gonna give another example. They say that a woman doesn't want you; she just wants what you can provide for her. There's truth to this, but it also comes off very insecure and very fearful and very weak. You got to understand what I'm saying. What are you providing that woman that you don't feel like providing, that you have an issue with her wanting those things from you? Probably one of them dudes who sees gaining success financially is the way that he gets women. That's the trick. Don't ask women what the fuck they think, because one, they don't know what they want. Most of them don't. And if she knows exactly what she wants, she's probably masculine, has her own program. She has enough time to be logical about it and think this shit out. And if she's really authentic with that, then she's masculine. She's a dom. So you get with her program and you get left. Right? But most women are not going to be like that. Most women do not know exactly what they want. You want what she wants to be you. So let's say she doesn't want you, but what you provide for her. What are you providing for a woman? You're providing her that feeling that she gets when you are in your masculine energy, she's in her feminine energy. You're providing good dick and guidance. And if you're a real ass nigga, then when you fucking with a bitch and that's your mindset, that's your perspective, one, you like to fuck, right? So if what you're providing is dick, she don't want you, she want what you provide, what you provide her. If you provided her sexual pleasure and you getting sexual pleasure out of it as well, that's intrinsic. That's not a woman using you. You get what I'm saying? That's intrinsic reward. That's intrinsic motivation. Your dick is your dick. Unless that motherfucker get cut off or stop working out the drop of a dime and out the blue, and unless you don't have any other skills in your sexual repertoire, her wanting you for sex, and that being part of the reason, is her wanting you for you. You get what I'm saying? Or let's say it's a matter of your guidance or your program. If she wants you for something that is intrinsic to you, something that you would have without trying to dress up, without trying to achieve a whole bunch of success to get her. Not that you don't want that success, you want that for yourself. But if she wants you for you, she wants you for something that is natural to yourself, then she wants you for you. Like, are you like caught up on this fairy tale idea that she just gonna love you unconditionally? You know, premature integration relationships can be unconditional love. That's like when a woman loves you for you, but when a woman is inundated in that mindset, she's often caught up in that Disney fairy tale type of mindset to where she legitimately just loves you for the feeling of being in love. Listen, that doesn't feel like you're the type of man who is masculine and dominant. Why? Because if she just wants you for that feeling of love and closeness and connection, then when you try to put your foot down as a man on some masculine dominant shit, that same social program that makes her think that that's what she wants you for is going to flare up. And then she's going to have an issue with you being masculine and dominant. You know, When you try to lay your program out, she gonna say you being controlling, right? If you give her punishments and rewards based off of how she's interacting with you, she's gonna call that abusive, all kind of shit. That a woman could engage in many acts and then engage in hypoagency after the fact. And when she engages in the hypoagency after the fact, that she can point the finger around on you after she leaves and try to act like you're all kind of vile, decrepit type of people. So you don't want a woman to just love you for you, right? That's kind of childish. To me, it is. You want there to be things that you know that you're providing so you can maintain those things. If you don't know what it is that you're giving a woman that causes her to like you and want to fuck with you, then how are you going to maintain the consistency of it, for one? And for two, how are you going to know when you're rewarding good behavior versus bad behavior? You're not going to know because you think she just loves you for you. You don't know what feeling you're providing her that makes her want to fuck with you. And whatever you're providing her that makes her want to fuck with you, how if she sees that as masculine or as feminine is going to determine what your relationship dynamic is like with that woman. So if you're offering her your masculine energy, that's what you're providing to the situation, right? Your masculine energy, your sexual game, your sexual skills, your dick, and you offering that to the situation. And then that woman is getting with your program and she's investing in you, investing her feminine energy, her submissiveness, her sexual desire. She's offering control to you. Then yes, motherfuckers act like they don't understand social contract theory. Like there isn't really a matter of being in relationships where there's nothing that anyone's getting out of it. And if it is, somebody's using somebody. But even the idea of thinking of getting used is one of those things to where it can really encourage a victim mentality. And it comes from ignorance of what you are getting out of the situation. Sometimes what you're getting out of the situation is the opportunity to feel that way about an individual. Like if you're a nice guy, you're spending all that money on a bitch, you're taking her out, you're trying to get to know her, you're doing all this extra shit, you're doing all that because you want her to like you. What you're getting out of the situation is a woman who you can put on the pedestal, right? Now, she's not using you. She's just a bad dom. If she don't fuck you afterwards, she don't want to be in no relationship with you, you could say she used you, but no, it's just she just don't have a program to where she rewards the behavior that she likes to see. But if you're a man who wants to fancy himself as a masculine man, then the fact that you're in that type of scenario in the first place, you're prematurely integrated. The fact that you're in that type of scenario in the first place means that you're dealing with a bitch and her mindset is that, well, your mindset is that you're trapped between wanting to be masculine and wanting to be feminine, right? So if you're dealing with a woman who's also trapped between wanting to be masculine and wanting to be feminine, then when you engage in feminine energy to attract her, her feminine energy is going to cancel out. So she is not going to be attracted to you or respect you enough to want to reciprocate the things that you are investing in her unless she is being transactional, expressly transactional on a basis of transactional sex, right? And it could be emotional transaction. It could be financial transaction for sex. It could be validational transaction for sex. It could be just your time, your energy. It's a variety of things that it could be. But what is it? You get what I'm saying? You want to deal with a woman who has intrinsic reward and intrinsic motivation to have sex with you and to be in a relationship with you and to want to fuck with you because she values you. She sees you highly, right? She places you on a pedestal where she says, you know what? This man's mindset, this man's sex, this man's, his energy, his masculine energy is a drug. You are a drug dealer when you're dealing with a woman. You got to understand this. Yes, she only wants you for what you provide. Stay woke. What are you providing? If you think that what you provide to women is financial resources, you're a fucking trick. Know your lane and play that lane, right? If that's your lane, accept and embrace that shit. But if you feel like that is something that's an issue for you, you need to change some shit up. Motherfuckers out here are too duplicitous. Motherfuckers out here got too much of a mindset to where they want to engage in actions and beliefs and mindsets that perpetuate the opposite energy of what they desire and then expect to get the same thing back in return. It's like, no, relationships work off of polarity, not symmetry. That's this new toxic mindset. This is shit that occurs within consent culture. And like I say, consent is a good thing. But at the same time, there are certain things that get wrapped up in this new idea of political correctness. These ever evolving rules and mindsets and ideologies around relationships, this modern shit, where people think that when you put into somebody, they're going to put the same thing back into you. No, it don't work like that. You make yourself attractive for the outcome that you desire, and then you learn what it is that you know what it is that that person wants from you. What I say is this: present yourself the way you want to be treated. Whatever you want a woman to value you for, that is what you need to present up front. And if she does not want that enough to do that for intrinsic reasons, she is not the woman for you. Right? She's not the woman for you because you're going to be in constant conflict, because you're not going to feel desired. She's not going to feel fulfilled. You're going to try to be the quote-unquote perfect boyfriend based off of what you see in Disney movies and see bitches who are being duplicitous online talk about. Stop listening to what duplicitous women say that they want. Stop that shit. Don't listen to what women say that they want. Because the fact that you're listening to what she says she wants, it's feminine. It's feminine for you to listen to what she says that she wants when you don't even know her. And then to try to qualify yourself for a woman. Let a woman qualify herself for you. Right? Because listen, you're getting something out of it. It's like when women say they're getting used for sex. That's them no hookup hoes. Right? They be on Tinder. Most bitches I fucked off of Tinder had no hookups in their bio. Most of them. It's just being sexually duplicitous. Right? And this is how that shit be working. It's like if a woman says she's used for sex, you are a prostitute. Why are you trading sex for the idea of wanting a relationship? Why aren't you having sex with somebody because you want to? And if you know sex is part of a relationship, why aren't you dealing with someone who you're sexually attracted enough to where if you have sex for no reason other than wanting to have sex with them, that you'll still be satisfied? You got attachment issues. You're placing too much value and unrealistic expectations on a brand new situation, and that person does not owe you shit. Sometimes women think that they're being used for sex and pumped and dumped, when really, yeah, just because the dude fucked you on the first date don't mean that he disqualified you because of that. Sometimes your personality just dry. Sometimes your transactional mindset about sex probably made your pussy dry. Probably when your sex wasn't even as good as you thought it was. You said some shit. You behaved in a certain way that turned that individual off where they didn't want to fuck with you because you didn't want to stay in your lane. Same thing with nice guys, right? Same thing with nice guys. You know, if you're a nice guy, you're investing emotionally in a woman. You say, okay, I'm investing emotionally, so I want to reap the sexual resources. I want to reap a sexual reciprocation. What you got to understand about it is this: if you're dealing with a woman out here who's masculine and you want to be a feminine dude, you want to be a nice guy, you want to be submissive, okay, cool. You know what? Have fun with that. But understand this: if you take a woman on one date and that's not a high enough price for what she wants in order to invest her body into the situation, and you take her on 2-3 dates and then you start feeling entitled to her body, then now she's going to get turned off because she hasn't had enough time to decide if she actually wants to fuck with you on a basis of what her mindset is with dealing with you. So if you're going to play that role of not putting sex first, then you need to be able to play that shit cool, genuinely get to know that woman as a person, to like her, and then to not feel entitled to her body. And then, you know, either you get to the place where you seduce her when you get a little bit closer together, not ask her, not get upset, not, no, you seduce her, or you wait until she is available. And honestly, that's some shit that can work. Sometimes you can be in that situation where you're talking to a woman, and because you understand the nature of sex and her mindset and how she relates to it with you, you can play that role of just not making a big deal out of sex. I've seen this comedian, and I've had women, conversation with women who I dealt with, who said this before, that they would talk to a guy, and if the guy didn't bring up sex, or if she said, I'm not ready to have sex, he said, that's fine. That the fact that he was impressed about it made her want to do it. It triggered her ego. Right? But if the dude pressed on it, then she would feel unsafe. So you just got to know what role you're playing out here, and stop following up with all this fear-based shit talking about she only wants you for what you provide to her. Provide something to her that you want to fucking give. Only deal with women who want what it is that you are willing to offer. And if you are giving something that's taking value away from yourself, set a standard by which she has to reach that standard and qualify herself to receive those things. That'll also get rid of boyfriend energy. That'll get rid of a whole bunch of shit. But stop presenting yourself as the full package up front. Because what you do is you're blurring the lines between trying to have an egalitarian relationship. You're blurring the lines between who's really in control of the relationship. Most relationships are not 50-50. They want to think that they are, but most relationships are not egalitarian. Most relationships aren't on a basis of two people being 100% equals. I don't know who started this bullshit, but it's bullshit. And this ain't even sexist, because a woman can be in the dominant position. I ain't fucking with the bitch, but a woman can be in the dominant position. She can. And a man can be in the dominant position. Now, if you're in the dominant position, don't be feminine where you're trying to decide what you're going to do based off of how you feel. Set your standards. Deal with somebody who you have enough desire to reciprocate the things that they want if you're setting a standard towards that. And then if they meet that, do what the fuck you said you're going to do. Right? So this is just Brody's take on the shit. These people getting on my nerves a little bit lately. I've been seeing this shit. It's been tripping me out. So, hey, it's Brody. I'm out.